Mary
Yeah,
had it,
right.
lamb.
Fleece as white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Right, let me just quickly check my mic. Right. Can you hear us now, guys?
Somebody in the chat. Hey, yep, John Scarper says that's better.
Right, so I think we got it.
Yeah.
I think we got it.
Yeah, it's on.
Right. I'm just going to go dark for a couple of seconds. Because I've just got to check this one stream out, but we should be there. Right, what about now? Can you hear us now? Or can one of you guys talk in the background?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Can you
1,
hear
2, 3, 4.
Right, so you should be able to hear us now.
Okay.
That's That's Windows updates for you. That is. That's turned off the mics.
All right.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, very much so. Right, so let's just sort this out quickly. Sorry about this, guys. All right, so I'll sort that out later. As long as they got us, that's the main thing. Because I had to change it, because if not, when we'd have gone to the other screen, you guys would have lost you guys. But as long as they can hear us. So anyway, let's try again now, shall we? So thank you very much for coming over for our Friday Night Live. As always, Mark and Wayne has joined us, and we have this week's special guest earworm, Robbo. He's come back to for another round, I reckon. So anyway, guys.
Yeah.
I am going
G'day,
to...
everybody.
So if you've got any questions for Robbo, obviously Robbo does a lot of production turning. So if you guys have got any questions for Robbo, chuck them in the chat. Obviously, as before, queue before any questions, just so Mark, Wayne, and Robbo know what they're looking at, and then we can pick Robbo's brains. He's like Wayne. He's very knowledgeable, and we're very honoured to have him on tonight for you guys to. No, Sam was better. Thanks, mate.
They've started already.
Yeah, they've started already. We're very lucky to have Robbo on, so you guys can pick his brain. So what I'm doing tonight is, let's bring this over to an overhead. So what I'm doing. So I think I've lost audio for you guys again now. Yeah, I did do that, but I think because I've changed them, I've now got to do them all of them again. Well, they can't hear you, can they?
No.
I don't know. Can they not?
Right, try that.
Can you hear us, folks?
Yeah, you should be able to. I've got stream sound, so
okay.
Just remind when I change. Just remind me when I.
Whenever you change view.
Yeah.
Right, so in the participants list provided by YouTube, so it's not my fault if I miss you. Alan de Rosario, Andy H's for turning, Barry Chitty, Barry's Wood Creations, BF turning, Barry Fisher, Brent Beecroft, Brian at Hartwood turning, Colin Izzard, David Nickel, Dizzy Rara 0810, Dor 60, Doc Miller at Woodspun Round, Douglas Mungham, Duncan the Curly Turner, Eric Winkler, Jared the French Turner, Henry Morgan, Hodgepodge Woodworks, I Love Wood Turning Adam, Jay's Cabin, James Crawford, Jason Wheeler, Joe Senior, John Scarborough, Lawrence Brigager, Malcolm Douglas, some dodgy bloke from Bude, Michael A. Turning Down Under, Nick Castle, Pete from Twisted Trees, Peter Corcoran, Peter the Parkwood Turner, Richard Bunton, Steve's dad.
Hi, Dad.
Sebastian Ossenhofer, some dodgy bloke called Seske Grass, Glyn from the Yorkshire Git, Therapy Hobby Turner, and Wood Wizardry by Colin, Hodgepodge Woodworks, and don't think I've missed anybody. If I have, I do apologise. It's YouTube's fault.
Always.
Jules asked a question, Steve. What you been doing to your finger?
This one here was I was doing some work on the CNC last weekend and was drilling a bracket. Rather than putting the bracket in the vise, I drilled it by hand and I went through, slid across the bit of metal and stuck in my finger. So that's that one. That one there was I was doing a kitchen this week. The drill fell over with a 2mm drill bit in it, and I went to catch the drill and the drill bit snapped and ran across the palm of my hand. So yeah, it's been an eventful. Oh, and that one there was a Stanley knife. So it's been an eventful week. So I've had all three, so we should be safe.
You still haven't told everybody what you're doing, I don't think.
Oh, ain't I?
No.
Oh no, because we had technical issues. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm going to be turning a small holoform pot. That's the plan. I've never turned a small holoform pot, so I'm going to have a go. It's a piece of ash, not very big. It's maybe only 4 inches across. So I'm going to rough turn it, get my rough shape I want, and then we'll part the top. I'll put a tenon on the bottom, part the top, and then we'll make a lid. I think I might make a little fancy finial if we've got time for it, but it's a case of suck and see tonight. I've never done one of these, so it's going to be trial and error.
Could turn daily players in. Hi, Blair.
Hi, Blair.
Sebastian's got a question, and don't ask me to answer it because I don't know the answer. What staining have they used about 120 years ago? You can't get that dark, deep brown colour with shellac.
I'd have said you'd have been the only person in here who could answer it.
Especially 120 years ago.
Yeah, that's why I said I couldn't.
Yeah, no, the shellac from a number of years ago was a lot darker than what it is now. They tend to bleach it a bit more than what they used to too. But if you apply enough coats, you can darken it right up. So just cut your shellac a little bit less with the metho and more with the shellac to virtually thicken it a little bit, not too thick, so that it still flows, and then you should get the colour you want, but it might take 3 or 4 applications.
Hodgepodge says, putting holes in bowls wasn't enough. Now he's got to put holes in his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Collins had a phone call from Record Power. He should get his tail stock back by Tuesday.
Oh, good.
Good.
All right, so I'm putting a tenon on the end there.
Woodturning by Barry's just come in.
Hi, Barry.
Yeah, that's the other answer too, Andy. Leave it for 120 years and it might match.
So
You see, you're putting a lid on this, Steve.
I may do.
Yeah, is the lid out of the same piece of wood?
I'm hoping so. Yes.
Yeah, well, you need to have a tenon on the other end then.
Of course I do. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Wayne. Good job you're here, mate. See, I told you I'd never done one of these before.
Well, see, I didn't know it was a lidded container. I just thought he was doing a vessel.
Yes, I'm sure he just said he was probably going to be putting a lid on it and then maybe a finial on top of the lid.
I did it say that.
Now, if you're going to put anything inside this vessel, make sure you measure the height of the thing you're going to put inside it.
David Nicol has asked you a question there, Robbo. Is a fluteless gouge worth having?
In my opinion, no. I have what I call classes gimmick tools. The skewchy gouge and fluteless gouges and those fall into that category.
Yeah.
Because they do neither job as good as what a skew chisel or a gouge will do.
Yeah.
Jixie's
just having to pop in quickly, say hello, and then leave.
Right, Eric is asking, is that green wood or is it dry, Steve?
This was cut in 2017. So
It'll still be a little bit damp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jigsy said, evening everyone, just a quick hello from me. Is not going to be able to stay.
Well, thanks for coming in, mate.
He's probably got food and kids to sort out.
Right.
Probably.
So,
Douglas is asking, is it the vessel with the pestle?
Try. Steve's going to get the carbides out in a minute.
oh yeah. Got to try my new carbides out, haven't I?
Yeah, go on. Turn the knife, you lot. I'm easy.
We've heard the
You've heard.
rumours, Sam. We've heard the rumours.
I know, yeah.
Most of Australia told us that already.
I never mentioned carbides, Robbo, by the way.
I
Right.
know that wine. Now, I have another question for Steve. If I'm doing a lidded container, I always part it off while it's still between centres.
Right.
It just saves a lot of strain on the jaws, that's all.
I've never done one, Robbo, so I've never.
All right.
Yeah, you want to take the lid off now,
And he-
Steve, before you
and
do
he never-
anything else.
And he never watches me, so he doesn't know how I do it either.
I do watch it, you cheeky git. So,
And
Put the,
Robert,
put the centre back
Robert,
in.
Robert from Hodgepodge has come up with a good suggestion. You could shape the outside with a skew, Steve.
I ain't got. Well, no, that ain't gonna happen, Robert. That ain't gonna happen. Right. Sorry. Mark, what was you
Put the
saying?
live, put the live centre back up. Part off the lid section.
A question for you, Wayne. Are you turning this one off centre next week?
Well, if Steve,
Douglas.
no, I'll tell you what, if Steve does a finial tonight, I'll do a box with an off-centre finial next week.
Douglas Mungum says, question, you tools, does Nikki know that, Steve?
Yeah, she bought them for me.
Oh, she's a good lass, isn't she?
She is a good
Yeah,
lass. She's one of a
the
kind.
best type. That's the best type of tools to get.
Circular wood by Keith's in. Hello, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Fred Gilliver's just come in as well,
Hi,
Hello,
Fred.
and Woodworm Paul.
Hi, Paul.
David Eisenhower. Hello, David. I got your stickers today, mate. Thank you for the letter.
He told me they looked shite, by the way.
Did not. Got
Yeah.
it here in front of me.
Yeah. I got them bloody stickers today. They look rubbish.
Steve, put me back on screen, you bugger.
You are?
Put me
Hang on.
back on screen. There you go. Thank you. They don't look rubbish. They look brilliant. Don't listen to these old geriatrics.
There you are. There's one for you, Wayne, from Brent Beecroft.
Oh, mister.
Off-centre emerging wine glass.
Yeah.
Right, an off-centre emerging. Right, do you want me to do an off-centre emerging wine glass with a glass wine glass emerging from a piece of wood with an off-centre stem? Because I can do that.
Right. Let's give it some shape now.
You just drill a crooked hole, don't you?
Crooked hole.
Don't forget to change the sound settings. You change the camera.
Pete from Twisted Tree said Nicky bought Steve new tools for his support, so he can support it better on her Sunday lunchtime show.
Yeah.
Good day, Keith. How are you? Circular Wood by Keith has just come in.
Right then, Gerard. Okay, I'll do that next Friday.
Oops.
It's all right, Barry. As long as they're still taking the mickey out of me, I know they still care.
Mark, can you take a note of that for what I'm doing next Friday?
Hold on, I'll just write it down in my busy social diary.
Cheers.
So what are you doing next Friday then, Wayne?
I'm doing an emerging wine glass with a glass wine glass into a wooden stem, which is going to be off-centre. It might even be off-centre with a spiral stem.
Ooh.
Just showing off now.
And Joe Senior's asked you, are you going to colour this, Steve?
I don't know, Joe, to be honest. I haven't really thought that far ahead. If it turns out nice, then yes, maybe. It's quite a nice grain piece of wood, actually. I don't want to try and keep that in, that piece of naturel. I want to try and get this a bit narrower on this foot. So...
Right, don't go too narrow before you start cleaning it out, Steve.
Okay.
I've written down Wayne next Friday, emerging off-centre, wine glass, spiral stem, captive ring, glass.
I don't remember mentioning the captive ring.
No, I know you didn't, but Steve's just showing off.
Okay. Well, if we're going the whole hog, I might as well colour Joe Sonia's colours as well. And
Exactly, yes.
You beat me by about 3 seconds, Wayne. I was just about to say to Steve, no, don't narrow the base yet.
Yeah, I'll finish it off once I...
One back in. Hi, Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
right, Eric. You can find me on YouTube on Win the Woodturner.
Just
You're spoiling his fun. You're spoiling his fun, Pete. He was going to put 2 captive rings on that too. Question for you, Wayne.
Should we book extra time for next Friday, or will an hour be enough? Oh, an hour will be more than enough.
You're joking, man. We'll still have to slow him down.
I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about banning Gerard.
Is he a troublemaker?
Terry's in.
Oh, that's it.
Hello,
Hey, Terry.
TJ turning.
Hi, Terry. Right. So,
Change camera.
hang on, calm down. Jesus.
I had to beat Mark.
And Lewis has just come in as well.
Right.
Are the sound settings the same?
Yeah, they should still be able to hear you. Just shout, guys, if you can't hear them. You should be able to. I've just got to clean my glasses so I can't see. Can't see.
Joe saying to me and Robbo, we've got to keep Mark on his toes.
That's right. Yeah.
Right, Douglas, that's going too far. I'm not doing 2 intertwined captive rings.
No, it was referring to my comment to Steve about Peters. I think he said that you said that you should have 2 intertwined wings.
All right.
Question, Wayne or Mark or Steve, could one of you do that spinning paint effect on the back of a platform bowl, please?
I'll do that on Monday if you want. A centrifugal thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've already got my Monday planned, so Wayne could do that Monday.
Yeah.
And to answer Glenn, it's actually it's a Sony camera that's bike riders and things wear, like a GoPro. It's also an underwater camera. It's only a little thing. It's a 4000K camera, but it's only about 3 inches long. If I remember, I'll look up the model number and I'll send it to you.
It's very clear.
Yeah, it's not a bad little camera actually for the size of it. And it's got zoom and everything on it too.
Your work here is done, Wayne. You've made Gerard cry.
Yeah, I know, I saw that. I'm sorry, Gerard.
Eric's got you. He's found you on socials.
Oh, cheers, Eric.
The only problem that I do have with it, it's got to be run on power most of the time, and it's got a short lead. But I'd use it on an HDMI cable, but it's got to be powered through a powered outlet with a USB cable in it.
Yeah.
Can't
John
be run
McDonald's
off
in.
the computer.
Hello, John.
Hi, John. Is that a new name?
I believe it is.
Welcome to the
Welcome
channel,
along.
John.
So just for Eric, I think most of the people know me
Right.
anyway. Eric, I do a live on a UK time, Monday lunchtime at 1 o'clock, Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock, and Friday lunchtime at 1 o'clock. And I put out a premiere on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock.
Don't look, Robbo.
No, Gerard, you keep on making suggestions. I was just joking. I was jerking, man.
So I'm using the Simon Hope. I think that's 8mm, is it? 8mm carbide cutter. It's an awesome little piece of kit. The only trouble is, you have to be careful because that'll take out a bit more than what you want. Can you still see?
Yeah. See you later, John.
Hey, John.
That is one thing that I've always said. Carbides have revolutionised hollowing to a large extent.
Oh, definitely.
Especially on end grain.
Yeah.
Oh, new tool. New tool Friday. New tool.
Who?
That's you, isn't it? Is that
Hey?
one of the new ones?
No, this
Is that
isn't.
one of the new ones?
No, this isn't one of the new ones. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, right, okay. All right. Oh, sorry.
I might break one out. You never know.
That's what she said.
On a windy night.
Are we going to answer Duncan's question, are we?
Well,
He could
nobody's
end up.
meant.
He could end up with a big serviette ring, I suppose.
It could be a lidded funnel, and then he'll probably drop it as well.
What's this pick on Steve tonight? Is it or something or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's Friday.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was just going to say. It must be Friday. Right.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed about that knot on your bloody logo, you know.
What knot's that?
The knot on your logo.
Don't know what you're on about, Robbo.
I was the one that started it.
Yeah, troublemaker.
Yeah, definitely. Got to
Right.
watch us colonials, you know.
Right, so let's try the new one. Let's try the new one. No, blue handle, Stephen. This is just to keep Wayne happy that I'm using one of my other handles.
Oh, Benjamin's just come in.
Right, Ben. Trouble's going to start now, isn't it?
Yep. Hiya, Ben.
Right,
G'day, Ben.
so move this rest back a little bit.
And Brian has suggested that it might have a lid on both ends.
That might do if I go through the bottom.
And Eric Winkler said, Steve, how are you entering the vessel with the carbide tool? I get many catches going straight into the vessel.
On the Simon Hope, the carbide tool is set at a 45-degree angle. Don't know if you can see that, can you?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And it's a that's a cupped carbide.
yeah, if you look at it, I don't know
a
if
flat carbide.
it's actually, yeah, like Wayne says, it's got like a recess in it. So you're actually you're not cutting with it sort of into the piece like that. You're actually cutting with it on there. So you're only really using the little tiny edge there. So even when
You
I use
actually with that type of tool, with the cupped carbide, you do tend to get a better cut when you're pulling rather than pushing. So coming back towards yourself.
but even
And
when
when
I
entering, sorry, go on, Steve.
but even when I use my other carbides, which are straight cutter carbides like this, I always use them so they're on a slight 45-degree angle. I never use them straight because you get a better cut, I think, when they're at a 45-degree angle.
Any tool plunged straight into end grain will catch anyway.
Yeah.
So you've got to slide them in sort of, and you start from the middle and work your way out with them. So when Steve was in the Scouts. No, I'm older than Steve, and it was when I was in the Scouts. And Copper Owl Turning's in.
Oh, hey, Copperell.
Copperal, I believe his name's Brian.
It is, yeah, that's right.
Hiya, Brian.
Cool, it's still wet in there. I can feel the wetness in there.
Is it moist?
Does it feel good?
Well, it's a bit warmer than what I'm used to.
Lewis has made a fair point. Is there such a thing as a slight 45-degree angle?
Yeah,
Surely it's either 45 or not 45.
slight 45.
Oh God! Seth from Brickhouse Craftworks is in, and with Benjamin. We're in trouble now. Those pair team up.
Glenn's just said that the Jimmy Clues carbides work better the other way with the push cut. Lionel, evening, Lionel.
And Eric
Hello,
has said, thanks, I'm just learning and doing an 8-inch vase. Now, what I would suggest, Eric, is that you drill a hole first.
Right, I need to turn that because I can't because the tailstock's in the way. Because the handle's so blooming long. But saying that, that's not far off of where I want to be.
Told you to buy the short handle.
Yeah, right.
I love how you give advice after the fact,
Sorry,
Mark. It's always good.
Copper Owl is called Rob, not Brian.
Rob.
So I've got a question.
Sorry, Brian. Didn't mean to call you Rob.
So I've got a question, right? So is that too far over the tool rest?
Yes.
To me, it would be.
Right, can I just say, Steve,
Yes, mate.
that for the size of box you've got there and the size of the opening you've got there, you do not need to use the swan neck.
Oh, I can't. This will not go round that corner without hitting on there.
Right, without hitting on where?
This
On
bit.
the rib.
This bit is hitting on the edge of the rim.
Right.
Because the tailstock's in the way.
Okay,
Ah,
in which case use the swan neck then.
Because I've got this little one, other than that I could get in there.
Because if you take your right hand all the way over.
Yeah, but the tailstock. That's what I'm saying. The tailstock's in the way.
Right. In which case use the swan neck then.
Right. Okay.
May need to move the tool rest back now.
Yeah.
And lift it up a little bit too by the look of it.
So I want to be just over centre or just on centre.
No, tool rest back. Tool rest
Tool
back.
rest back so it's off the curve.
Sorry. So like that.
Right,
Yeah.
now bring the tool back because you're going to be undercutting the shoulder. Are you still on the flat?
Just about.
Are you still on the straight bit?
Just about. I'll move it back a little bit.
That's better.
Like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
And Lewis has said you could use reverse and turn the other side. Oh, wait.
Just put him on timeout, will you?
And Pete's just as sarcastic. Question, Steve. Could you turn it in reverse to avoid the tail stop?
Chewing like a fist, I am.
If I mess this up, I'm blaming Mark because he made me buy these tools.
He was forced into it. He was handcuffed and forced into it.
See, I only advised on the strength of having a lathe that can go forwards and reverse.
Well, that's coming next in the mark.
Because Nick did say to me, he said, if you don't tell me what you want for your birthday, I'm gonna ask Mark. And I thought, I know what Mark would say, a new lathe. I don't want that.
Well, you missed a chance there then.
No, I'm happy with my lathe at the minute. I ain't got no space for nothing bigger at the minute.
It wouldn't be any bigger.
The Regent is just the right size there.
And Eric Winkler said, I would like to have all three of you to help me with, like you're helping Steve when I'm turning.
Oh, you don't want me to help. Promise you don't want me to help. These two, yes. Not me.
Yes, Colin, it is the Simon Hope Swan Neck Hollower, and that doesn't have a carbide tip on. That's got a high-speed steel tip on it.
And a question for you, Mark.
Yes, Douglas, my lathe does go forward and reverse.
Yep, so does mine.
My
So
lathe
does
goes.
Wayne's.
My lathe goes forward and reverse.
In fact, both my lathes go forward and reverse.
Robbo, do all of your lathes go forward and reverse?
Sorry?
Do all of your lathes?
No. My main, I've got 4 that do go forward and reverse.
Just throw that out there. I've got 4 that do, 16 that don't.
No, it's only 14 that don't.
The big 42-foot long one doesn't.
Oh, the 40-foot one does go in reverse, actually. It's much easier
Bloody
to sand.
hell.
No, well, funnily enough, it's much easier to sand the bigger poles in reverse than it is the forward way because you can put the paper on the top and run your hands along the top. And so it's pulling away from you rather than putting your paper in underneath and trying to pull the paper out of your hands all the time. Plus, it helps the dust extraction too by doing it on the top because all the dust extraction's along the back.
Yeah.
So basically having a lathe that goes in reverse is really a huge benefit then, yeah?
To me it is, yes.
It would probably be a massive drawback if yours didn't go in reverse.
You can go off people, you know that, don't you?
Glyn says all 4 of his lathes go in reverse.
Yeah, I know.
Pete,
No,
yes, I can. I can drop the tailstock off the end of the lathe and rest it gently on the floor so it's not in the way.
So can I if this unit went in the way.
Actually had to do that today, Pete. I had to turn outboard for the first time today on my big lathe. God, that was an experience.
I'm surprised how nice that carbide cuts, or that swan neck cuts. That's lovely and smooth in there.
Yeah, they're a lovely tool.
And I suppose it comes pre-sharpened. I haven't sharpened it, so it must come pre-sharpened. Right, so just clean this out.
Question for you to Mark from Pete. Oh,
Yeah, I've already done that one.
Twisted Trees, yeah. Yeah, the trouble is, Brent, if you moved it off, Brent Beecroft has said, Steve, if you pulled your lathe away from the wall and stand on the other side, your lathe will go in reverse. Trouble is, the tools won't cut. Don't ask me how I know.
Right, Jigsy's having to go. Night, Jigsy.
Hi,
See you
Jigsy.
there, mate. Thanks for coming over.
See you, Jigsy.
I always veer away from hollow forming because when I first started to turn, I had a bit of a nasty, well, not nasty, it was catching and jumping all over the place, and it always frightened me a little bit. But that was so easy.
Yes, Barry. Yes, it is.
Right. So if I get some shape on this now, move this back where I want it.
One for you there,
Douglas
Wayne.
is asking, can a carbide be put on the swan neck? Yeah, and it can really, yeah.
And Dale's just come in.
Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
In fact, if anyone has got the Sorby Sovereign system, you can get ordinary high-speed steel tips for that. You can get the titanium cobalt coated tips for that, and you can get carbides.
Which one's the better?
Which one's the better? Well, I mean, carbides are probably going to be the sharpest and longer lasting. The titanium cobalt coated ones will probably last 3 times the high-speed steel.
Right.
Question there for you, Robbo. Michael A. Turning Down Under.
Yes, I do. I quite often have open days here as well for clubs. And if you're passing by, everybody says you get at least 15 minutes of my time. These days it's a bit more because I don't work as hard as what I used to. So
He
you're
lets
more
people
than welcome.
visit, but he doesn't let them leave.
Well, I generally give them a broom. That gives them the hint. No, Michael, more than welcome to call in any time you like if I'm about.
Thrifty VG's in. Hi, Thrifty VG. Welcome along.
Evening, 50.
And somebody asked who's in the chat. Mark, Wayne, Steve, of course, and myself, Robbo. I'm an interloper.
Robbo's the special guest.
And Mark and I are just here to extract the urine.
Yeah,
As always.
like we do every Friday.
So I'm going to try and get this a bit narrower now.
Change cameras, please, Steve. Was going to add that everybody wants to see you go through the bottom, but I thought I'd better not.
I'll try my best not to.
Don't
Yeah.
sharpen carbides.
Yes, Eric. Sharpening carbides use a diamond credit card type thing, or the flat diamond file. but also use honing paste as well. And I've forgotten his name. If Glyn's still out there, he'll tell me his name. James, I've forgotten his surname. But he's actually shown how to sharpen carbides on one of Jimmy Clues's videos.
But you never get them as sharp as they come out of the
It
factory.
doesn't matter. It saves you a lot of money having to buy more.
True.
That is one thing with carbines, they are expensive. You buy the cheap ones, they don't last.
And to Lewis, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, you can check out any time you like, but first you need to sweep.
Yeah. James Barry is the guy's name, and he does a like a honing compound, and he also does different sizes of diamond sharpening files and sort of credit card type things as well. If you want to know anything about sharpening, James Barry is the guy to go and see.
And Michael, yes, I am still in Tooradin. Sorry, Terry, I don't know what you're referring to there now. Seen it too many times there.
This is what I use to sharpen my carbides with.
Going through the bottom is what he means.
Oh, yeah.
Which does 200 to 600 grit.
Yeah.
And I use that with a bit of lap and paste. But like Mark says, you never get them as sharp as what you do get at the factory. But if you get another, the way I look at it, you get another 3 or 4 uses out of them. That's a bit cheaper, isn't it? That's the way I look at it.
And Glyn says then the honing compound is fantastic.
Yeah, and I know why that is.
So do I.
So. $120, $240, $400. Right, let's get this sound.
Copy, you're not alone there. Catches scare the crap out of everybody, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So
Jay's cabin. Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Mark. Carry on.
Jay's cabin would like to know how fast the lathe is going, please, Steve.
That was going when I was spindle turning. That was going around about 1720, 1800. So not major fast.
Yes, Colin, it is.
I wouldn't even go to 1,000 grit to tell you the truth, Douglas. 600 should work fine.
Steve, drop the mic.
Is that me?
Yep.
I think I've got a full tub of honing paste in the workshop.
Pete, it depends who's throwing them at you. That's a scary bit.
120. 120. 240. So the question is...
Bearded Woodworkers in. Hi, Florida.
Alright, mate. Thanks for coming over.
Glyn's saying that lapping fluid works really well too.
Or if you ain't got any, a little bit of 3-in-1.
Robbo, is your mic a bit high, mate?
What, in the face?
Yeah, up towards your nose.
Sorry, yeah, I knock it when I had a cup of tea, I think.
So the question is, are we colouring or are we leaving it natural?
That's up to you.
I don't know. Not sure. See what it look like when I finish sanding it.
Your choice. And if it's wrong, it's your fault. We've
You
taken the
actually-
blade too often.
Right, and now, are you going to do the lid before you part the bottom off?
Yes. Why? Is that wrong or what?
No?
You had a 50-50 chance there, Steve. You got it right.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you decide to do colouring, what I would do is complete the lid, fit it onto the box, and then do the colouring once you put the box back onto the chuck.
Right.
I was about to say to Eric Winkler, he says, I only dare to use my mini lathe at the first belt speed, 4 speeds available. You'd find that is a little bit too slow, as somebody else has mentioned down there, as Lewis has mentioned down later. The rule of thumb generally with turning is that you increase the speed until it vibrates a little bit, and then you back it back one. So on the mini lathes, I've been probably running it on about the 3rd pulley.
I'm going to stick my neck out here, Steve, and I'm going to agree with people in the chat and say, colour it.
Okay. So if it's wrong,
Someone,
it's Mark's fault.
someone.
The other thing with speed wise is it's generally the smaller the piece you do and the faster you can go, and the better the cut you get with more speed.
Yep.
Unless, of course, Mark suggests it, in which
48.
case he's wrong.
Yeah, because that'll fly off and smack you in the teeth.
Only to JP.
Alright, let's clear some of these tools away.
John, it's Ash.
Right, so
Fine piece of ash.
But I will add a bit of a rider to the speed thing too. We have some woods in Australia. I don't think you've got anything hard enough over there. Maybe lignum vitae. But you can actually go too fast and the tool will not bite into it. So you've got to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Is that on some of the gums?
Oh, yeah.
Wrigley's.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Wrigley's.
Yeah.
No, you get a piece of yellow box or something like that, that really tests you out.
Right, Danny Boy, you said colour it yellow because it looks like a minion.
Right, so we want 48. We have 58. 5 mil off each side then.
Well, hang on. The best way to do that is to keep on bringing the box up to see if it fits.
Alright. Do you fit?
Well, so the last thing you want is the French fit.
A little bit more. A little bit more. Let's put it on the camera so you can see.
Another little trick, if you like, Steve.
Yep.
When it gets close, I notice you're using a beading parting tool. I normally use a skew for that, but that's neither here nor there. Just tilt it up at 45 degrees and angle it back a little bit so that you're actually slicing in a scraping cut, it virtually is, on the side of the tool.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, what like that you want about?
Yeah, I can't quite see it properly, but
So
you
you
just
go.
tilt it clockwise a little bit.
Oh, I see. I see. You're just using you're using this part of the tool just to clean it off.
That's right, and it gives you can dial it in that way because it takes such a minute cut.
Oh, I like that.
There you go. And the thing to remember is, okay, that's a wee bit on the tight side, but
Yeah,
you
but it's
are
gotta be
going to be it's going to be sanded.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't use a tool on that fit now.
No. I'm just going to clean this middle out a little bit.
All right, I'll just nick through the chat for a minute if everybody's right. Pete from Twisted Trees. Yeah, more speed on corners and voids, etc., means less time to move the tool in the wrong place. When you're turning air, the faster you can turn it, the better up you are, because it leaves a cleaner cut and less tear out. Yeah, Eric, it still might, I'm not being rude, it could be tool control that's causing the vibration and everything. And new and scared is good. I treat all my machines with a great deal of respect because I know what can happen if you don't.
Definitely.
Katie's in. Hi, Cornish maid.
But that's, hi Katie, that's every tool you use though, isn't it? Whether it's a drill or whether it's a lathe, you need to be aware of every tool you use. That's not.
That's right. Even a pencil can stab you.
Yeah, especially drills.
Yeah. And what else was there?
Katie, are you going to be there Tuesday when I go see Chris?
Right. So.
Right, Steve, can you put the box back on and put the overhead cam on?
Overhead.
Just a slight angle, so the edge has clearance, Lewis, underneath the cut.
Right. So what you can do now, seeing as how you've got the box actually fitted onto the lid, you can decide now what shape of lid you want.
Yeah. Well, I was going to try and do the lid so it carried on the shape of the actual pot.
Okay.
That's what I was going to try and do.
You could bring the tailstock up and turn it.
Well, I was thinking about turning it the other way around so I can get to it. Is that right? Thinking that way, or?
Yep. Turn it the other way around. Yeah. You can take that off now. Put the box back in. Put the lid back on, and bring the tailstock up.
Just make sure the tailstock and that's level, lined up.
And Gerard, the French turner, he's come out of hiding again. Question, would it be easier to have the lip for the top of the box? Just jumped.
To have the lip for the top.
Just put it in the chuck, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm going to, but I've got to make sure the two line up, haven't I?
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
Because I moved it out.
Kiss test.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gerard, question, would it be easier to have the lip for the top on the box side of the box? You can have innies or outies as far as I'm concerned, either the lip on the lid or the recess on the lid. It doesn't really matter much.
No, it doesn't. Depends on what you're doing.
Exactly. Just bear in mind that if you have the lip on the box and it fits into a recess in the lid, that you have more height in the inside of the box, that's all.
So I did mark out to number 1. It shouldn't really make a lot of difference because it's supposed to be a precision chuck.
You faded again, Steve.
Drop your mic, mate.
All right. I said I did mark that for number 1. I know I shouldn't have to because it's supposed to be a precision engineered thingy, but old habits die hard, as they say.
You've also got different timber crush on them as well, on wet timber anyway.
So what I want to try and do is give that a similar sort of shape to what that is. That was my planning.
Oh, you should never say your plan in front of all of us lot. You become mighty unstuck.
Got 80 watching, Steve.
Oh, thank you very much, everybody, for coming over. Whoops. I think I might use a bowl gouge on that.
Question for me. When you are sanding wood that is some spalted wood and some regular wood, how can you get the sanding scratches out without eating too much of the spalted wood? Well, the first part is that I use a very, very sharp tool to get it as good a finish as I can off the tool. If I can't do that, I'll put sanding sealer, or I'll actually use shellac or something like that, cover the whole thing, and then do another cut with a very sharp tool and start with the highest grit sandpaper that I can.
If Dale's still watching, he's going to get this. If Dale's still watching, he's going to get this reference. I think that looks like one of the robots from the film, The Black Hole.
What, on the spaceship?
Yeah, the ones that floated around.
Is that the way you would do it, Wayne?
What, the way Steve's doing it now?
No.
Sorry.
On the spalted wood.
Well, on the spalted wood, yeah. Put the sand and sealer on, like Robbo said, especially sharp tools, good cut before you start sanding. Put the sand and sealer on, and then sand it. That way, that the sand and sealer will toughen up the wood a wee bit if you like. But the other thing you can do is once you've sanded with the spinning, stop and start sanding things again. So rather than sanding with the
Well, Mike's gone.
Douglas
Mike's gone.
Martin.
Wayne,
Sorry, what?
Wayne's mic dropped out then.
my mic dropped out.
Yeah, it has, yeah. It hasn't dropped out completely. It's just gone very soft.
Oh, don't know what's happened there then.
It's all right
working
now.
again now.
Yeah. There's plenty of formulas on the web for working it out, Douglas, that what speed pulley you need or what diameter pulley you need.
Got a little bit of a hump in there.
There you go. Just so people don't think I'm crazy about what I was thinking, there's a link to the image.
Did you did you sand off the tenon on the lid, Steve?
Did I sand off the tenon?
On the lid?
Yes, on the inside. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think so. Did I?
I'm
I can't remember.
No, I'm just hoping that it's not a wood turner's fit. If it's a wood turner's fit, you're going to have great difficulty getting that lid off.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric. What I was saying was what Robbo said. A good finish with the cut, sand with the lathe spinning, and then stop the lathe and sand in the other direction. So you're sanding from the headstock to the tailstock by hand, without the lathe spinning.
Does that look about right?
Yeah. Just a bit. I don't know about Robbo and Mark, but it looks okay to me.
Yeah, it looks great.
Super smashing great.
Champion.
Didn't I do well? Ooh, got ooh, bit of
What
manky,
you could have won.
bit of manky bit in there. Might have to put some glue in that.
Oh, if you were going to put glue in it, Steve, what glue would you put in there?
Well, let me think about that one. I think I might put some Starbond in it. What do you reckon?
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Starbond would be the choice. It's the wood turner's choice, really, for better quality. And hold on, let me just turn around and read what it says. Fresh and super glues, produced monthly, maximum performance and shelf life.
So Katie is saying, Wayne, can you do that if you have reverse? Lol. Hey, yeah, you could do, Katie.
Douglas, yeah, you've got to know what size pulley you've got on your motor for starters.
And the Mark put in the chat there, and this is back to Katie. This was that he's going to do some turning, and he's going to give Chris a lesson. Chris is Katie's other half. I'm actually doing a Zoom lesson with Mark over the weekend, so he knows what he's doing when he comes down to see you.
Oh, Can't believe you did that.
That,
And he's
that
and he's going to be taking notes.
that sounds like what happened to me once. I had a bloke come in on a Monday afternoon, and he said, "Mate, I need a lesson on just the basics of wood turning." I said, "Why? What's going on?" He said, "Well," he said, "I'm a maths teacher, but they put me into the wood turning class to teach wood turners." And he said, "I don't have a bloody clue." So every Monday, he used to teach it on Wednesday. Monday night, he'd come down to do the next part of the lesson. You know?
Oh, dear me.
Right, so it's a bit manky, that is, but I could cut that off, couldn't I, really? If we're going to put a finial
Well,
in
it's
it.
got. Sorry.
But I wanted the finial. I wanted to bring the finial into that, really. That's what I was hoping for.
Are you going to end up with a big hole in the middle of it from your from your tailstock centre?
Yeah, well, I've got to drill a hole, put the finial in, haven't I? So I might put a bit of glue in there. Just skim that off. Put a little bit of paper towel on that, just so that holds a bit tighter.
Well, Douglas, how are you running it? It's got to have a pulley of some sort on there, or are you just running it on the shaft of the motor?
What are you doing now, Steve?
I'm just going to level that off. And then I'm just going to...
Well, could you not leave the tailstock up and just use the skew to level it off?
What, with the tailstock in place?
With the tailstock in place.
This is a...
You've put that. You put that tissue in. That's actually knocked it a wee bit off centre.
Mm.
You just want to see me cock up. That's all it is.
No.
Have you, Steve? Seriously, have you got a cone live centre?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah, I have.
That would be better.
I was actually going to say, Steve, you don't need our advice for that.
What, to cock up?
Yeah.
You're right there. Not put too much pressure on that because that'll split that.
Skew.
I ain't using the skew. I use the parting tool.
No, use the skew.
Use the skew.
Right, the pointy end of the skew.
This bit.
Toe.
The long bit.
Yeah, the long bit.
Yeah.
The long point of the skew.
Yeah.
No. Turn it on its end. Yeah.
That way.
Right. Yeah. Point the bevel in the direction straight across. So you need that further round. That's it. And you're going to go straight in.
Right. Okay. I don't want to go straight in.
Try and take a little bit slimmer slither.
That almost looked like it was ground straight across, actually.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to do what you want me to do. Hang on.
Okay.
It's well, if you look at it, where is it here?
No, just turned on its side for a minute.
That's not a skew, that's a scraper.
Well, that's what I've been telling you lot for months, that I hadn't got a skew. But none of you listen to me. Take off of this.
When's your birthday?
Sunday, mate.
The Cornish mate said, I literally heard Wayne have a panic then.
Don't panic, don't panic. There you go. This will work the same way.
Right, Douglas, I take it that the the 2.5-inch pulley is on the cutter head, is it? Of the motor, of the jointer.
Right, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there. Let's put a little bit of glue in there. Should we go for a brown? Shall we go for a clear? Shall we go for a black? Oh, choices are endless.
Or you could coat it. You could even coat it in CA.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, I could do. But you know, they sent me these for free. Let's try them, shall we? What do you want, brown or black? Brown. Oh, don't all jump at once. What's that one? Medium thick brown. What's the other one? Medium, I do. Don't want too thick, do we?
And Douglas Mungham wants to know special dinner on Sundays at Steve.
Well, I did have the choice of a roast or a takeaway. And I did say that I wasn't bothered. But I don't think they want to cook, to be honest. So I think that was an excuse for have a takeaway. Oh, I like them nozzles. Alright, so get the activator out. So this is brown. This is Star Bond medium brown. So just stick a little bit in here. Oh God, I can't get the lid off the activator. Must be kiddie proof. It's actually not as thin as I thought that would be, actually. Oh, this glue don't smell a lot, does it, Mark?
No, it's very odorless.
Yeah, I'm very surprised.
Malcolm Douglas is very disappointed about the Saturday night meal. You mean we won't hear carrots being chopped?
I'll record it for you, Douglas, and you'll play it in the background.
Danny Boy said, if it's your birthday on Sunday, would you like me to get you a present? A chap I know makes awesome stuff.
You'll have one of his LED mirrors, Danny, has that? Alright, so I'm just going to take that off and do the inside of it because there's a little hollow in there. I've got a feeling when I drill that, that's going to split. Alright, let's put the lid back on there. So hopefully that won't look out of place being brown. So just put that back in. Just nip that up. Just clean that up a little bit. Safety glasses, just in case.
And it's just coming up to 9 o'clock, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
And David Nichols says, careful getting the top on that bottle. I was doing that with Starbond thin and spilled it into a pile of shavings. I now have a fuzzy spot on my shop floor. Gives good traction at the laser. I spilled a bottle of shellac once and had much the same effect. Didn't know I'd spilled it.
Sand and sealers like that, innit? That goes like that.
Oh yeah, particularly the lacquer one.
Right, so just quickly sand that. That's filled that nicely. Just give that a quick sand.
David Deadman's in. Hi, David.
Hi, David.
Says sorry he's late. It's okay. It's Friday. Casual Friday. You don't have to stand in the corner.
Right. Douglas, you on Facebook?
Right, so I'm just going to drill a hole down the centre of that now. Actually, first off, before I do that, I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. Because that's a bit...
Oh, Barry's in. Hiya, Barry.
Hiya, Barry. How you doing, mate?
If he mentions Bernie, I'll put him in timeout. Don't worry, Steve.
Okay.
Robbo, I've emailed you Douglas.
Oh, Ruby's in as well.
Hi,
Hi,
Ruby.
Ruby.
How are you, Ruby?
Hi,
Hope you're
Ruby.
well.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Ruby.
So if I drill
Hey,
in...
Robbo,
That could be a question for you, Robbo. Does shellac still work on green wood to help seal it?
It's an interesting one because nothing really seals green wood except anchor seal, and that's only to stop the moisture from getting out of it. It doesn't really seal it. It slows down moisture loss. I don't think it would seal it. It wouldn't keep the moisture inside. In fact, if it is a little bit wet, it'll be like putting any finish on it. Eventually, it'll just peel off out of the way. So I don't think you're going to slow wet wood down from cracking. It's going to crack, full stop. As you said, on your off-centre wine bottle, it's going to crack. It doesn't matter what finish you put on it.
Oh, yeah.
Steve, I've been wondering for a while now, if you don't like LED mirrors, would spindles do?
Spindles? What do you mean, spindles?
It's just something I was wondering, that if you don't like LED mirrors, would spindles do?
Spindles? What, as in stair spindles?
I don't know, it's just something somebody in the chat wanted me to ask and not tell you their name. So it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But I asked it.
That's who I've got to ask who it is. Hang on, I've got to see who it is.
Yeah, you can use shellac as a sealer, like sanding sealer. In fact, a lot of the some sanding sealers are shellac based. But to actually seal up a wet piece of wood, I think you're just wasting time.
Shall I tell you what the spindles is about? Danny boy has had a few mirrors off of me, and I did one for his brother who lives in Spalding, which is only about half hour away from me, and I delivered it for him. And Danny works somewhere near a cabinet makers or a place that does furniture and all that, and he's managed to get hold of me some spindles and things like that that he's dropped off at his brother's for me to go and collect. So that's what that's about.
Right.
But obviously with COVID, I haven't been able to go and get them.
Right, Barry, the wood is ash and he's making a box.
Right, so if I make a finial for that now, or do we colour it first while I've got it in the lathe?
Right, the thing is, Steve, seeing as how you're going to colour it, the bit where you've put the star bond won't colour.
No, but there's a bit of dark brown around there anyway, Wayne, so I'm not worried about it too much.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are you going to have the finial the same colour, or is it going to be different?
Well, let's have a look. Let me have a gander in the
Ronnie up, Joe's in.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hello, Ronnie.
I would like to say I've got a piece of blackwood, or ebony, should I say, if I can find it.
Still 81
Jam.
watching, Wayne. Wayne.
Steve, even?
Ben,
Cheers, Mark.
Steve even. Hello. They're here to see you, really, Wayne.
Of course they are.
Ben Jammin asked, have you tried wrapping in cling film, Robbo? Yes, I did once. I'd never do that again. I think it got wetter than when it started, actually, because the moisture just couldn't get out at all.
I think
That's it.
Um,
Right. The whole point of sealing the ends of wood or sealing the end grain of wood, moisture escapes quickest through the end grain of wood when it's in log form. And if it escapes too quick, that's why it starts cracking. The whole point of sealing the end grain of the wood is to slow down the drying process. So the wood is actually trying to dry out through the long grain rather than the end grain. If you're wrapping it totally in cling film, the moisture's got nowhere to go.
Just go mouldy.
It does.
Right, so I've got this piece here, a piece of ebony, or whatever you want to call it,
African blackwood.
and that.
Right. Douglas is asking, Wayne, are you turning as well as Steve? No.
Now, Douglas, I have a question for you. You've got a 2.5-inch pulley on the cutter head. The cutter head has to do 3,200 RPM, and your motor speed is 1,400 RPM. Is that correct?
That's what I got from it.
That's the same there. And Robert from Hodgepodge, Steve's going to need to reshape that skew of his to turn that finial. I agree. And David Eisenhower is leaving.
See you later, David. Thanks for coming over.
He's got a new lathe he's got to put together.
Eric, if you all you can get is green wood and turn it down to 3/8 or 5/16, sand it and spray it with a shellac. I was hoping it was okay before I finish it with water-based urethane. 3/8 or 5/16 an inch isn't very thick.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
So
Steve, I was
Yeah.
just going to say,
Tail
take your
stock.
tail stock up.
Yeah.
yeah, just the end grain, Ben, that's fine. But I've found that paint or even water glue, PVA glue, 50/50, if you can't get proper end grain sealer, works as well.
I've used PVA before.
Donna's in. Love Angel has just come in.
Hi, Donna.
I don't know.
People use emulsion as well, don't they? Some people.
Yeah.
You're better off using latex. Ruby's put in an answer to Eric. If you turn it to 3/8, the wood should be dry enough when you're done turning.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too.
Yeah, especially if you're sanding as well. If you're turning down to around about 3/8, once you start sanding, that's heating the wood up as well. So it tends to help dry it out. This is really strange. This is. I've got 2 projects already planned for next week now. This doesn't usually happen to me.
You're going to be busy, aren't you?
You won't know what to
Well,
do all
looks
week
like
now. You ain't got no planning to do.
It looks like I'm doing a centrifugal thing on Monday, and I'm doing the off-center wine glass on Friday. So That means I can sit about until about 7 o'clock on Wednesday, deciding what I'm doing on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Did you
no
put
more ideas for Wayne. He likes to rest.
Did you put the painting thing in your social diary, Mark?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So I draw
Spiral off-center twist stem with 2 intertwining captive rings.
No, you forget them, Mark.
Good day, making a better
It's
life.
written in the book. And so it is written.
It might be written, not getting done.
Making a better life has just come in as well.
They die.
Evening die.
Terry saying, Wayne, you'll forget by next week, so don't worry. Oh no, Mark's got it written down, Terry.
In his diary. If it's in the diary, it's happening.
Hodgepodge says
Um,
there's still the beard pull. Beard pull technique, yeah. That's Wednesday night taken care of then.
No, it's not. No, that's not happening on Wednesday. Yeah, Mark the Garden Workshop has said, Hugh Gerard for more crazy ideas for Wayne. Oh, thank you, Barry.
Gerard's just one idea away from being banned.
Right, Michael A. Turning Down Under has said, Wayne doing Inside Out.
To be fair, Wayne, people have been asking you that for 6 months.
Yeah, the thing is doing Inside Out turning is it's very difficult to do in a live. I've got to have Blue Peter pieces to do that in a live.
David J. Heath's in, and Vicky Jenkinson's in.
Sebastian has said every project is fine as long as the VB36 is involved. How about mounting the door on the VB36 and see how that turns out?
And just to fill Michael turning down under, a Blue Peter, I'll explain what a Blue Peter is to him because he might not know. It means
right, okay.
What I've done before. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah, here's one I prepared earlier, yeah.
Has to be done in stages.
Yeah, because the first time you said that, it had me buggered, I tell you, Wayne. Until you explained it. Vicky Jenkinson's in.
Hey, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
It's a bit hard, this wood.
Oh, it is. Sorry.
Douglas, he'll shout at you.
Douglas causing trouble, is he?
Vicky's suggesting that Wayne should do a barley twist stem, intertwined captive rings off center with a bent stemmed goblet. Yeah.
Donna was thinking double-sided sticky tape with Blue Peter. Yeah.
Sticky back plastic.
Ah, right. Okay then, Michael. Sorry, I wasn't sure. And for Vicky, the earworms are Mark, the gentleman turner, Wayne, the wood turner, Robbo, the Aussie wood turner, and Steve's actually turning.
Steve's just here to make up the numbers, really.
Yeah.
Well, just to give us something to talk about, that's right.
That's true, Douglas. But Douglas suggested, Wayne, that might actually slow you down a bit.
Well, to tell you the truth, everything he mentioned there, barley twist stem. Well, I'm doing a twist on the stem. I'm not doing the intertwined rings. It is going to be off center. It may not. I don't think the stem will be bent though.
And sorry, Alan DeRazio gave a good suggestion. Put a piece of white paper under it, Steve, so you can see the profile and we can see it too.
I just looked at that. You couldn't really see it. Let me get a bit of paper.
Also, white paper under it makes it easier for you to turn it as well.
Ruby's asking you, Steve, how long is the finial going to be?
Till about there. Is that precise enough? Or do you want me to measure it?
No?
I'm just going to finish this off.
Ronnie Oatbo has asked, when you have rough turned a bowl, is it necessary to seal the end grain? I'll let you answer that one.
Depends.
Some people do. Some people do. Other people just put it into a bag with shavings and let it do its thing. If you are going to be doing a rough turn bowl, you're as well actually weighing it before you put it into the shavings, and then weigh it every week or so. And what you're looking for is 2 or 3 consistent weights, and that way you'll know that the majority of the moisture is gone.
Yeah, if you ask 10 wood turners that question, you get 35 different answers, I reckon.
Yeah, you probably do. That was just one of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same as you. I just put in a box of shavings.
Yeah, I don't bother sealing them. I just put them in a box. Box or a bag with the shavings. Change the shavings every 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
So I'm just going to sand that now. Before it snaps. So 240 and 400, and we'll get a bit of grit on it.
Yeah, Ruby. The reason Ruby was asking about the length of the finial, Steve,
Yeah,
is she said some people think they need to use the whole length of the piece of wood.
Oh, I see.
And sometimes that can make the finial too long for the piece you're actually putting it onto.
No, that is around about, what's that, 45 mil, something like that.
Douglas is saying he was watching Stuart Mortimer do a thin barley twist stem goblet, and he was bending the stem as he was sanding it, and he's actually got that goblet. Nice one, Douglas.
Nice.
Stuart Mortimer, English woodturner, exceptional woodturner, is very, very well known for the barley twist that he does.
And his flowers and stuff as well.
Alan
In fact, I think
Rosario's asking, is it always best to turn the finial from the tailstock end?
No, you're actually better off turning the finial
The other way.
the opposite way to Steve's doing it, because you always want to have the thinnest part of the finial towards the tailstock end.
Hi,
Yeah.
Katie.
I realised that when I was about here.
If I remember rightly, and Ruby will correct me on this, but Stuart Mortimer is one of Ruby's good friends.
See you later, Katie.
See you later, Katie. Thanks for coming over.
Danny
Enjoy.
Boy
He's
saying,
behind you, Katie. He's behind you.
And enjoy your lesson with Mark after he's had it with Wayne.
Danny Boy's saying, just for clarification about the staircase spindles, I kind of hope that you could glue them into a shape, then hollow them out to make a sort of vase with side cutouts. I don't know. he said.
Inside out turn, that sounds like to me. What do you reckon, Wayne?
Sorry, I missed that question totally.
The staircase spindles glued together.
You could you do some inside out turning with them, couldn't you?
You could, yes.
Good, yeah.
Brent's asked if you're putting the rough turned piece in the kiln, would you need end sealing? I don't know. I've never put any rough turned stuff in the kiln. David Nichols is asking, have any of you used a microwave to dry bowls? I have. I used to have a microwave just for that in the workshop.
Yep, I've done the same.
And what you do is usually run on half power for about 30 seconds a time. And again, you need to wait first. And again, what you're looking for is a consistent wait over 2 or 3 ways.
And I always used to put a glass of water in there as well, just to keep the humidity a little bit constant.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Katie says, lol, literally I'm in charge of the panto. Lol. Oh, yes, I am. Oh, no, you're not.
Ruby's answered my question, and she said, yes, Stuart Mortimer is a good friend, and she spent a lot of time with him. Ruby, when Ruby goes on holiday, she tends to take woodturning holidays.
Yes. I was saying this to Ruby the other day, that she doesn't realise how well respected she is by woodturners here in this country.
Oh man, yeah.
Because she takes the time and effort to hang out and get training from some of the best woodturners in the world.
Yeah. And she's quite willing to pass her knowledge on as well.
Yeah.
Glenn is asking, what are you using, Steve? I'm not very sure if he means that. Oh, sorry. Steve is using what looks like a Yorkshire Grit microfine at the moment.
Oh yes, the best woodturner's abrasive paste on the market. Absolutely. You wait till you see the shine on this bad boy. Oops. So that's the microfine. I gave it a coat of the original first, which takes up to about 1,000, and then the microfine should take up to about a 2,000 grit. So as we all know, Yorkshire Grit is not a finish, so I will put a little bit of wax on it, not too much, just a little bit.
Right, Jace Cabin has said he's fallen asleep. Tomorrow he's going to be doing boat work.
Sorry, are we boring you?
The ice has melted and he needs to put the boat back into the water first time after winter, and there is a big mess.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just put a little tiny bit of microcrystalline on that.
Ronnie's asked why not spalted shavings, because of the spalting is actually a fungus and it can multiply and ruin the whole project because of the spores.
Yeah, people don't realise that spalting's actually mould, do they? Some people.
Yeah, it's a fungus.
Well, it's not mould; it's a fungus.
Well, yeah, okay, it's a fungus, but
yeah, but it's two totally different things.
Still not.
If anybody wants to know anything about spalting at all, there is a website, and I think it's called Dr. Spalting. And this is somebody who has done years and years of research into spalting in wood.
Don, I think it's a piece of African blackwood, which may not actually be ebony, but African blackwood is very similar.
It's hard.
Yeah, and she's a very clever lady too, that one about the spalting.
Oh, she is, exceptionally.
Yeah.
Right, so I think
Question
I'm going
to me. Sorry.
No, go on.
Robbo, do you use Yorkshire Grit? If you do, where do you get it from? No, Yorkshire Grit has never been available in Australia until about 3 or 4 months ago. maybe
Yeah.
6 months ago.
There is an Australian distributor now.
Yes, it's Southeast Queensland Supplies. If I do use anything like that, which is very, very rare.
Hold on, Robbo, can I
because
just stop you a sec? Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, Ruby's saying before you take it off,
Yep.
score a couple of lines on the tenon for the glue to grab hold of.
Okay, thank you very much, Ruby.
Sorry, Robbo, carry on, mate.
That's all right. I use Triple E, U-Butte Triple E, which has been around for about 30 odd years, I think. So, but I'd need a whole can to cover some of the posts I turn. So sandpaper's the finish they get.
So just going to take a little bit out of there.
So if you had a skew, you could part that off with a skew.
Yeah. Yes,
Same.
Mark, you could.
After you've opened a tin of wax with it.
Yeah, that's the lady, Sari Robinson.
Yeah, there's also a web page as well.
Yeah.
A website, I should say, with loads of information on there.
That should. Ooh, sweet.
Sweet.
So just clean up a little bit of sandpaper. Just clean up a little bit. Not a lot.
Question there for you, Wayne.
Oh, missed that. Douglas, could you put a spalted shavings in a piece to spalt it? Douglas, just any wood you like, either just leave it outside, somewhere damp, or bury it in soil and it'll spalt. You do find a lot of woods actually spalt while the tree is still standing. I know sycamore spalts while it's still live.
So, I think I'm going to
See you
glue that.
later, Glenn.
See you later, Glenn. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, night, Glenn.
Right, Glenn, he says, great live, catch you later.
I'll just drop
And he
that.
dropped the Finial, he dropped it.
Oh, right.
I've got to find it now.
It's okay, Steve. On Monday, the piece I was doing, I dropped about 4 or 5 times, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not worried. I just got to find it now.
The thing is, there's that much shavings on my floor. Nothing gets damaged when it gets dropped.
Trouble is, I've got half a ton of wood under here. I got it. It's a boy. I got it. Nice piece of apple that my mate gave me.
Okay, intern.
I would hazard a guess with Ruby, Robert, that she was on a visiting visa and earned money, and the governments, even in Australia, take a dim view of that because you're supposed to have a working visa.
No, to tell you the truth, if you hear the story from Ruby, it's something different.
Oh, yeah, rightio. As I said, it was an assumption on my part.
Yeah.
We had a turner come out from another country, and he came unstuck because one of his mates asked him to do a demonstration at his club, and they deemed that as working, which I thought was totally unrealistic, but you can't argue with immigration, unfortunately.
Especially in Australia.
Yeah, Steve's about to stick his fingers to the finial now.
Steve, was that a bit of black star bond you used then?
No, it's brown, mate. Brown Star Bond. Star Bond.
Ah, right, okay. And the star bond activator?
No, that's clear.
Right.
Star Bond.
Star bond.
Star Bond. I just need to chamfer that up a little bit just to make that. Star Bond.
Let it be known, I'm one of the only turners in the UK who isn't sponsored by Starbond.
Are you not, Wayne?
No,
He's not bitter about it at all, folks.
mind you, with the amount of CE I use, it'd probably sit there and go off.
To be honest, I was surprised because I don't use a great deal of it. I use more on the CNC than I
Hey,
do actually on the Woodturning.
Nobody was more surprised than I was.
Right, so let's get this back in. Just clean this up a little bit.
You and I are in the same boat, Wayne. I've had a thing of Loctite here. I looked at the date the other day and it's 7 years old.
It's not quite level, eh?
Right, Ruby, I see. Yeah, a little bit of an ego problem, eh?
It's not stuck. Oh, get off.
I like that, Robert. So its name is Bond, Starbond.
Starbond.
Not at the minute, it's not. It's stuck.
Did you get any Yorkshire grid on the tenon on that finial?
No, I tried not to.
Or any finish?
No, I tried to keep it off of there. Plus, I scuffed it up afterwards, like Ruby said. If worse comes to worse, I'll stick a bit of epoxy in it afterwards.
Bit of blue tack.
All the Bond jokes are coming out now. Mark at the garden shed. Starbond shaken, not stirred.
What are you going to try and do now, Steve?
I just want to chamfer this a little bit closer because there's a little bit of a lip there.
That lid's going to pop off.
Is it?
Yep.
Yes. Guaranteed.
Frog tape.
Yeah, put a bit of chicken tape around it.
Alan, we were trying to gloss over that part. He said that Starbond worked well.
Yeah, it didn't. Mind you, the hole is a little bit.
User error.
Yeah, always.
I did notice the hole, Steve, was a bit bigger than what the tenon was.
Yeah, that's because I had to sand a bit off of it.
How thick is the lid?
Quite thick.
You could easily drill another hole, like tape that down a little bit at the top and put another hole in it so that it does hold better.
No, it seems to have held now, mate.
Yeah, right out.
Seems to have held. There isn't a lot got to come off it. It's just that little tiny bit. It's not perfectly in the centre, but
as I've always said, Robert, everything to do with wood turning is operator error. If something goes wrong, can't blame anybody else.
no, you're right there.
Douglas wants to know if you're doing a CA finish. No, he's not.
No, I'm not doing a CA finish.
Well, hang on, leave it up to Steve, Mark. Leave it up to Steve. You might want to.
No, he doesn't. Steve doesn't want to. Can CA finish? CA's not a finish.
Oh, Wayne, I felt fairly secure in that answer. I felt I was safe with that one.
All right, that's near enough. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Right, so we're colouring, are we?
I don't know, are you?
Do you, mate?
I don't know.
It's 9:30.
Is it? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stays to be moaned that I'm going over her time.
Well, she started at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know, but she normally goes to 11.
Still got 76 watching.
Oh, well, if they're happy to stay, I'm happy. Are you alright to stay, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right.
No, I've got an appointment.
All right, mate.
Yeah,
See you later. Have a nice time.
Oh, Robbo, he's been awake since 4:30 in the morning.
I've been awake all night actually because I'm too scared to go to bed because I wouldn't get up. Yeah, it's only 6:35 here in the morning, so you're right. Keep going.
Subtle colour. Not a major colour. A nice subtle colour.
Eric, insulation tape, masking tape. As long as you don't leave anything on there for any length of time, you won't get any glue residue on them. Unless you use carpet tape or something like that.
Yeah, that's sticky. That's horrible to tear off.
Oh, yeah. Good for holding things on faceplates and that for certain things.
So, a yellow. maybe a yellow.
I wasn't going to mention that, Brian.
Pair of gloves. Gloves. Oh, shit. There we go. Bit warm in there. I might have to turn my heater off.
So Sebastian is saying, I like the dual use tools. Question. So how good is Starbond at wound healing? Might come in handy often in my shop.
Very good.
I've not used Starbond for. I've used normal super glue, but not Starbond.
Stings like a bugger.
Yeah, new skin as well. That's good stuff, man. I love new skin.
Barry is saying, I've started making pens. Can I use oil finishes on them like Osmo or Danish oil? Yes, you can, Barry.
Yep.
You could burn them.
Quite often use Danish oil as a finish on my pens.
Right, Douglas is asking me a question. I know CA is not a finish, but could the brown change the wood colour? I've got no idea, Douglas. I don't have any Starbond.
Yeah, I put brown in. I put brown in there. It doesn't actually change the wood colour. It's just the actual glue is brown. That's the only difference.
And Benjamin has said, Steve, considering your lathe can't go in reverse, I think you've done a cracking job there.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
And Ruby has said, if you put moisture on the lid tenon, you know, with a spray bottle or something like that, just spraying it onto the tenon on the lid, it will hold better in the box for doing the finishing cuts and things like that.
Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it? So I suppose it just swells it a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Gerard the French turner says, Baz, yes, you can use Danish oil, then leave it to cure for 3 days, and then use lacquer.
Yes, you can do that too. And I know,
If you weren't in Brian's live yesterday lunchtime, you'll not get the joke in there.
And as nobody else can see us.
Twice.
No, the reason I said 3 days is because, well, sometimes the temperature here for the 3 days I always leave it 3 days for the oil to completely dry and not gas off.
Yeah.
Because I did have a case where I sprayed it after 24 hours and there was still just enough gassing coming off the Danish oil that it actually lifted the finish, like the lacquer over the top of it. So now I always leave them 3 days. And it makes it a nice, rich colour.
That was
not
funny,
2 days then. It's 3 days. It's not 2 days. 3 days.
That's read between the lines.
Between the lines, yeah.
Brian's saying, don't be starting that again.
For those in the chat that don't know, the system that Steve's using now for the earworms, the 3 of us earworms, we can see each other throughout this demo. So we've been gesturing to each other throughout.
No, that was a good night over at Brian's the other night. I must admit, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
That's one thing about it. Your lunchtime lives now are at a reasonable time of night for us again. They've come back to 10 o'clock at night, so we can watch them instead of midnight.
We did notice a bit of an invasion.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My nozzle's all blocked on my Hampshire sheen. I need to soak it in some terps.
No, we don't go that far, hodgepodge.
No, don't see the point in that. One looks just like another, Robert.
What's that?
Hodge is saying, since how Mark said that the earworms can see each other, Hodge has said that we're probably mooning one another. No,
when
I
we
mean,
were.
one arsehole looks just like another one, and there's a lot of them about.
Everyone's
A
got
week
one.
ago, we were being transported in army buses, and we went through a little town and mooned the whole main street as we drove through.
I bet
The
you was
MPs
popular.
No, the MPs pulled us up at the next major city, which was a city called Albury. Now, in those days, the highway was 7 miles long through Albury. They made us put on full kit and march the whole way.
Oh, I tell you, them MPs, bunch of swords. I used to work for them. It was one of my, I forgot to say, it was one of my best postings when I was in the army, when I was with the RMPs, the Royal Military Police. Had a brilliant time. Mainly because I met Jane there.
He's a sweet talker, isn't he, eh?
Whoop!
Don't think we didn't see that.
See what?
That.
Too much pressure. Oh, Finial's fell off now as well.
Oh, I tell you, I'm going to have to get some of that Starbond. It looks brilliant stuff. That's
That's not even dry. That's still wet in there. Man, I'm going to Evo stick that in there. That won't come out then. Let's use some proper super glue.
Spray the activator into the mortise, put the glue on the tenon, then press it in.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Don't leave it too long, otherwise it'll have evaporated.
I'll tell you what, I'll spray a bit more in there just in case that.
Now we get it halfway and it'll get stuck.
See, the super glue we use at work, we spray the activator. You can't put the glue on it until the activator's dry. Right, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to touch it. If it comes out again, it's going to get Evo
the
stick.
Brian says he's in bits, he's rolling on the floor.
Wood dude's just come in.
Oh, Wood dude.
Evening, Wood dude. How are you? All right.
Robert says he's reporting this video to Alec.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Robert,
you know that
so
guy you sponsor from SK Krafts? He ain't got a clue what he's doing. I just want to polish it up a little bit.
Oh, look, has that worked? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, let's get some wax on it before we get too excited.
No, Mark, got to do this.
Just, look at the banner on the wall.
Drop the fucking lid now.
See you later, Danny boy.
See you later, Daniel.
See you, Danny.
All right.
So a bit of microcrystalline. You know what I didn't do? I didn't sand and seal that. Too late now.
Don't worry about it.
And Benjamin has said, sorry.
No, carry on. Go on.
Benjamin says, top tip, don't use foaming glue for a funnel. Don't ask me how I know. I take he's talking about polyurethane glue.
Yeah, he must be.
Yes, good for some things, but boy, if you don't clamp up properly, it just blows everything apart.
That stuff, Robbo.
Yeah, I use another. I use another one in here, but
For obvious reasons, I can't mention it. Someone's Darth Vadering.
Not me.
Sorry, what's that?
Breathing heavily into the microphone.
Oh, it's probably me. My wife says I breathe heavily all the time. So I had to put the little foam thing on the end of the thing as an anti-breathing jigger.
Right, let's get it parted off then. See if I can catch it.
We've already dropped the lid and the finial. Might as well drop the box as well.
Well, you know, you got to keep it right, ain't you? You got to get, you know.
Yeah, that'll happen, Ben. He meant the finial glued it the night before and came back to find it had popped off.
Have you any idea what size the hole is in the top of the box, Steve?
No, but I can tell you.
Right. The reason I'm asking is that you might be able to reverse the box and fit it onto the chuck, so you can get a decent finish on the bottom of the base of the bowl, the base of the box.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. That is only 47 mil.
Right.
Yes, it'll fit. Because you've only got the 40mm jaws on that, haven't you?
No, 50 mil.
Oh, you changed them over again, right here.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was from the live the other day where you changed them to 40. Your offset file. Like I said, I've been watching lives for the last 8 or 9 hours. And Sebastian says, I was about to say that blue looks fantastic, but it's a glove.
Brian
Years
says,
ago,
be consistent, Steve.
Always.
years ago we were turning a fairly big bowl and I wrapped it sellotape around it, or actually packing tape. And when it was spinning, God, it had the highest gloss of anything I've ever seen. And everybody's, oh man, that's a fantastic finish, you know. When you switch it off, you can hear the, oh man. You know?
No, not quite. Not quite.
Oh, that's a shame, Steve.
Not quite. I'll just clean that with on the linisher quickly.
I said in a thing the other day, a linear, and I got abused. No, woodworkers use belt sanders.
That's what a linisher is, isn't it?
That's what I've used one for metal and wood, so.
Let's just clean it a little bit.
Change the camera, Steve.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let's just go on. Who's he laughing at? I can hear you, you know.
That direction came from Brian, not me.
So there we go. We got there in the end.
Oh, nice one, Steve. That's something cool.
That's very pretty, actually.
So I didn't sand the inside. The inside is quite smooth, actually, but I didn't sand the inside. But my first Holoform.
Well, it's a box.
Question for you, Steve, from Colin. What make is the thin parting tool you used?
It's a Robert Sorby one, mate. Robert Sorby.
Yeah, their box making one.
Yeah. And I've got
and
the.
Ruby,
go on, sorry.
Ruby Claire was saying, why not reverse it in the chuck, then part it off? I know the answer to that, but
because the jaws I've got, I couldn't. If I'd have thought about it, and like Wayne said, I could have done that a little bit bigger. then that would have gone over that part of the jaws, but that's just a little bit too small. But
Well, you could have made a jam chuck and fitted it on there to turn the bottom off.
yeah, I could have done, but you know, we've been on too long now, to be honest. So there you go. Anyway, guys, nice little pot.
Still
Yeah.
70 watching.
Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging on. It's ended up being overall height 170 mil by 100 mil across, and I actually did hollow out quite a bit in there. So don't know if you can see that very well.
Oh, yeah.
But that
Gerard says it's.
I'm really
Gerard
surprised.
says.
Go on, sorry.
Gerard says it's a nice shape, Steve. Very good effort for you first.
Thank you very much. I wanted to try and get this to flow in. Looks a bit like a Christmas bauble, doesn't it?
Yep.
But I've enjoyed doing that. It's been nice. It's been something different. It's nice. Bit delicate.
Right, Brian is asking why the relief angle on the parting tool, because it acts a bit like a bevel, Brian. So you sort of introduce the. Can you hold that parting tool up again, Steve, please? So the bottom part of the
Put it against your
relief,
jacket, right?
the relief, if you like, that acts as a bevel. So you can actually introduce that onto the wood, then bring the handle of the parting tool up so it starts cutting. If it didn't have that on, you'd be going straight in with the parting cut, and chances are you could get a catch.
Yep.
That's the reason behind that, Brian.
And I writ on there the grinds that when it came with a 3560 grind. So whether that's what it should be or not, I don't know, but that's what it came with. So I always write on my tools what grind they come with, and then just so I know they're easy to remember there. But I don't suppose it matters, does it? As long as it's under.
Well, yeah.
So there, guys. Thank you very much for coming over. Thank you to my lovely wife for letting me use my new tools early. So yeah, I like that. I'm really pleased with that. I'm really happy with that. I like it. So, if there's any more questions for Robbo before we go, thanks again, Robbo, for coming in, mate. I really do appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
I know
Always enjoy it.
I know it's a bit early for you, but you know,
No, that's all right.
got no excuse to get out and cut the grass now, you.
No, that was cut by my brother-in-law yesterday, actually, so that's good.
So I got some lovely. Oh, thank you guys for all the nice comments.
Colin, no. You could
No,
not use a putty knife.
They're too
No.
flexible.
No.
Right, what you can use, if you can manage to get hold of a metal cutting hacksaw blade. Now, a metal cutting one. I'm talking about the type of blade that goes into a powered machine for cutting metal. They're good for thin parting tools. I had one of them for years, and I lost it somewhere.
Yeah, but they're quite thick. They're about an inch thick, aren't they? They're about an inch high by about 3 mil thick, aren't they? They're quite a thick blade.
They are. Yeah, they are.
I-
It's high speed steel.
Yeah.
So it actually works.
Yeah.
That's all I use, actually. I've got it's about an inch by, it'll be probably about 1.2 millimeters thick, I suppose. Very good for boxes and things like that.
Yeah.
We used to, when I was in the engineering trade, we used to keep all them blades and you'd turn them into scrapers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to bring us back, Steve, before we
yeah.
say goodbye?
Oh, yeah.
So people can say goodbye to Robbo.
So,
Well, thank you, everybody, for having me. It's been a pleasure. I hope I've
Yeah,
answered everybody's questions satisfactorily.
Been a great night.
That has.
yes, thank you very much for being patient. Thank you very much for staying with us. I do appreciate it. It's a bit longer than we normally are on, but like I say, it's a bit more detailed than normally. Or I just hack a bowl out. So, and I think we've kept the sound, which is a good bonus. I think we've sorted that issue as well. So happy days. And I think this is a better system. I think this is a better way, to be honest. So, even though you lot take the mick in the background, but hey ho.
Oh,
That's what we're here for.
I resemble that remark.
Wayne sits there so innocent. Butter wouldn't melt, would it, eh? What? He'd be brilliant in a courtroom, wouldn't he? Weren't me, Your Honour. Weren't me. What do you mean? Weren't me?
Judge would look at his face and go, I believe you. Do you know what? Go home.
Yeah, you're free to go. Let this most innocent man in Britain go.
Yeah, it was them big boys. The big boys did it, then they ran away.
Right then, guys. Thank you so much to Robbo. Thank you so much to Wayne and Mark, as always. They're always here to support me, and I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, Terry. Yeah, Steve should get with the plot, shouldn't he?
What's this? Oh, the beard.
We three beards of Orient are. I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah, Ruby, we will. If Robbo agrees to come back, we'll have him back later on in the year or early next year. If he wants to come back in. It's always a pleasure to have people in.
We have to time it just around the clocks changing. So it can really screw with his sleep pattern.
Yeah, it's always nice to have people in. It's
I like you too, Mark.
Was that a bit of sarcasm?
I've been earworming. I've been earworming with you at 4 o'clock in the morning here.
Yes, I
Payback.
Yeah.
Payback.
No, it's nice to have people on, and the reason we do it is because that gives you guys some, you can ask some questions that you wouldn't obviously get the chance to ask. So, are you bringing your lives back, Robbo, or are you too busy, mate?
Yes, at the moment I'm in a little bit up in the air. As you know, I don't like turning what everybody else turns. I like to turn things that people aren't used to seeing in the production type world, So, yeah, probably in the next couple of weeks I'll start thinking about them again.
Be good. Be good to have you back.
When work quiets down a bit.
Right, mate. Right then, so we'll go. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you all for hanging around while I played around with that. I'll get some pictures up on social media tomorrow. I'll just make sure the finial don't fall out again. But it should be all right now because Mark's told me the proper way to do it. So we should be all right.
You shouldn't really need to use activator with super glue, though.
Well, it just makes it go off quicker, doesn't it? That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stuff we use for work, we have activator for.
And I can see why everybody's given 10% off this Starborn stuff. It's obviously because it doesn't work properly.
Only works 10% of the time. That's what it is.
Jeez, you just done your sponsorship deal, Wayne.
You seen this, Robbo? Look. Face of concern.
Right, then we'll go. We'll go before we get ourselves in trouble. Right, so thanks, guys. I will be back Sunday. I will be here this Sunday. So I'll be back Sunday, me, myself, and my lovely wife. What's he laughing at? I don't know who Ed and that is on tomorrow. I don't know who's on tomorrow. I haven't got a clue.
Ed is on tomorrow.
So Ed's on tomorrow, and obviously there'll be lives all throughout the weekend. So if you
Robert Hodgepodge is on at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Right, is that a live? Yeah.
Yes. It is a live. Yeah, and Nick will be on at 8.
So there you go, and then obviously Sunday myself. Then there'll be. Wayne's got
at 7:30.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike's on at 7:30. I've got a premiere at 9 o'clock. Makers International podcast, and it's Costas Anarchus from Greece, who's on the podcast this week. Jamie will have a premiere at 11 on Sunday night, and young Caitlin will have a premiere at 11:30.
So there you go. And then back to Wayne on Monday lunchtime. Yeah,
back to me on Monday lunchtime.
So anyway, guys, I will see you Sunday. No doubt catch you somewhere over the weekend. So take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good night. Thanks for coming over.
Good night,
everybody.
Good night, everybody.